from, I think she's on Time Warner Cable in North Carolina. She has the same set-top box that she got 10 years ago. So when they roll out software, with a few exceptions, unless they're doing something experimental, it's got to work on the brand new box and hers. And that's where it falls apart. It's a legacy problem. Okay. We're going to see lots more video. Video. All everybody talks about online is video now, and it's big. But there's also been a lot of talk about whether Facebook's killing YouTube and video, and the answer is not no, but hell no. Right now, primary platform used by ad buyers, obviously there's a proxy there for viewers because they're going to buy where the viewers are. There's still over half of them spending money on TV, but then it's 22% YouTube and 6% Facebook. Facebook has a big inflation in their video numbers because when you scroll past that video and don't hear any of the sound, but you see it moving, they count that as you see in the video. So
you might have seen it.
Well, you have, and in fact,
many times.
Well, and that's why.
Without the sound.
That's why.
I love that statement.
Yeah, Facebook is bringing back the silent movie. When we do video for clients now, a lot of the times we make two versions. We make a YouTube version that is just what's happening in the audio, and then we try and make it look cool like that. We basically subtitle the Facebook version in the hopes that the people scrolling by will find out what the message is and what it's about.
Very smart.
We picked up that trick from our friend Jeremy Vest over at VidPal, so I should give him some credit there.
But
Yeah.
it's also happening in Instagram.
Yeah.
And everything in Instagram, unless you press,
Yeah.
you won't hear anything.
Yeah.
It's only between seconds.
So video is very important, but Facebook is not gonna knock YouTube off as sort of the king of where all the video lives. I mean, I guess YouTube could do some really stupid things, but really, until it's a search experience as well as a browse, you don't go to Facebook and do a search unless you're real sophisticated that finds you video you're looking for. It's just what happens to fall into your stream, by and large.
And vice versa.
Huh?
And vice versa. It's really hard to browse YouTube.
Yeah. No, and even on like the set-top boxes, the YouTube experience is really bad. On the new Apple TV, it's getting better at figuring out, because it's tied to my account, what I'm looking for, and its recommendations are good, but the interface is pretty terrible. But the fact is right now Facebook is just giving you what you happen to run across along the way. I don't know if anybody else has seen this, and this is entirely anecdotal. I don't have research on this, but I find that trying to stream video from Facebook up to a set-top box like a Chromecast or an Apple TV just does not work well at all.
Yeah, it's not working well.
So half the time I see a video I want to watch on YouTube, I hop out, go search for it. I mean, I see a video I want to watch on Facebook, I hop out of it, go search for it on YouTube, and go watch it there because I know it'll actually work. This is a big, if there's one thing that is kind of, I'm really going to go out there and say, I think I'm going to be proven right on, it's this, is that we are in the era now where, while not everything's going to be video, the still image is dying. And there can be a lot of reasons for that. Part of it is you need some motion to grab attention because there's so much else going on. But the sort of moving but not video image, things like animated GIFs, which have been big for a long time, is really where the bulk of imagery is going. Anybody who's used the live photo function on the iPhone, which is what's showing up at the top there, it's kind of cool. I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. I'm told that like it's something that was in Harry Potter and people dug the effect. But the fact that you get motion in the video, I mean in the photo, is important. Everybody familiar with cinemagraphs? Mm-hmm. So the bottom right here is a cinemagraph. You can see it's a still photo, but her hair is moving and her dress is moving in the wind. It's a very cool effect. It works nicely now that animated GIFs are allowed in some of the social platforms. It's good for advertising. It's just fun. We use it as a screen. There's the Cinemagraph channel that we use as a screensaver in our house. And then people responding with animated GIFs and texts. I really, really believe that in another decade or so, it's like only the old photos are going to be totally still. And it's just an interesting change in how we interact and think about how you're messaging to people with videos that have to have some movement to them. Yeah?
What do you use to create your cinemagraphs?
There's a lot of apps that do it. And like what's done here is pretty sophisticated. There is, I think there's like a Cinemagraph Pro is an app. Just if you Google Cinemagraph apps, there's a lot of them. There's one called Flixel. And they're all different levels of sophistication. Like this one is like somebody going into Photoshop and doing some crazy stuff, right? I did one with my wife on vacation where she was like standing out in the wind and like her dress is moving and the rest isn't. You know, it's a little more ham-handed than that, but it's cool. And then, but to a point, that takes a little effort. The live photo thing is something that you're going to see it on the next evolution of the non-Apple phones. It's going to get more sophisticated. Now it's if you've used it, you start finding you're like disappointed when that was just a still photo.
How was that one made?
The top, if you have an iPhone 6, that's just the way the photos are taken.
What about Android? It's not available.
But Android will catch up. Okay. They'll do it too, I'm sure. And there may be apps on the Android that do it. Yeah.
I saw something yesterday that Samsung is going to have that in the next version.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be it's a big thing. And all it does is it shoots when you shoot a picture, it does like a fraction of a second of video before and after the picture is basically how it's created. And it's going to get bigger because like right now if you take one of those, you have to, when they first came out, you took one of them, you put them on Facebook or Instagram, they wouldn't show the motion. Now you can tell them to show the motion, but you have to actually tick off a box when you're posting the photo to say, hey, make this a live photo. The next evolution of the technology, they're going to make it so it just happens seamlessly.
So
Yeah.
would you use it for say like a Facebook header or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can do that now.
Yeah. Well, no. Now you can't use it for your cover photo or your profile photo, but you can use it for a photo like in your stream.
Okay.
But profile photos, they have short videos you can do for your profile photo now on Facebook. I mean, that's everything. All the signs point to people want movement. Virtual reality is getting a lot of attention these days. That top shot is from actually this week's episode of Portlandia, which I've not seen yet, but I saw the preview, and they're trying to play virtual reality games. This was a Time cover this year.
They're trying to watch they're at a Flaming Lips concert.
Oh, is that what it is?
With a drone camera, yeah. And that's
Yeah. It's sort of like, remember how everybody was talking about Google Glass a couple years ago? And I don't see any of those in the crowd here today. Yeah, well, and I've been, when I go to film festivals, my wife, when we were at a festival in Montreal, and I saw this amazing virtual reality experience with one of these Google Cardboard things that was, one version of it was I was like in a yurt in some foreign country, like, while they were eating food and cooking, and you had everything but the smell. And another one was like a David Cronenberg sort of mini remake of The Fly, where you're inside the thing. But it's just not going to be mainstream for a while. Having to buy that device, the devices, while they're cheap, they're not. It's just not there yet, and so it's getting a lot of attention. But it's just not some. How many of you own a VR device? Anybody?